Hello beautiful people of YouTube. I am in the shop and we have another new project. Am I taking on too many projects? Maybe. But the showroom is looking pretty good. I am nearly finished with the oak install. Got a little bit of splashback to go on this display. And look at that. Glass has gone in. That might be a preview because I don't know if this video will come out before the wrap up of that video. But what we have outside is the new project. The lease on that van is up in 2 weeks. And instead of taking out a new lease, because, well, they are mega money now. So, old van, new problems. Definitely new problems. There is an oil leak on it somewhere, which I've just found. The radio doesn't work, which is one of the first things I'm going to fix. And we need to do something about the cargo area, which, by comparison to my old van, is fairly vast. So, and with a much bigger side door. So, my plan is to build a rack for my tools down by the back of the bulkhead. This section of the bulkhead will have some new stereo speakers adding in, I think. I want to do something about that. But I've got to build a tool rack for there. And that is going to be one of my first jobs. Because currently has my tools, and one fallen over, which is something else I want to prevent, all along the side here. And I reckon that with some clever building, I can get it all across the back there, meaning that my van is still big enough to put sheet material in flat, which I can't currently do in the new van, or the old van, without faffing about. Now, just masked out the floor with a sheet of MDF so that I know how much I need to keep clear so that I can put sheet material in here without having to move stuff about. I don't not shift a lot of sheet material, but when I do, it's annoying if stuff is in the way. And here I am about to build a shelving unit, so I can see that I've got to be clear of that black line and ideally be able to stand here as well. So I think, yeah, I mean that's going to be deep enough for all of my tools, I reckon. Here, I want to clog that up. Well, actually, I'm going to put a speaker there. I'm going to try and incorporate that hole into the speakers. So, I'm going to make a template out of paper of that piece there. Then I can work out where my speakers are going to go, put some boxes on them, and then build some shelves around all that. MDF. So I'm going to cut around this, and in order to engulf the 6x9 lines, make sure they're in pretty much the same place, and it just covers the hole that's already there. So I'm going to get cutting this out with a jigsaw, then I can run around the inside of these holes on there with my fine tooth metal cutting blade and get that out too. I have spent the early afternoon constructing something for these speakers, and this is what it looks like from the back. So there is going to be a panel over here next, these cables can go down through the grills, and there's a section through the carpet which looks suitable. So that's where they're going. And then I can start building my racking for all of this shit. So I've got this to do it, and hopefully enough time. So let's go cut that back panel out, screw that on.
Early the next morning.
So this is where I got to yesterday. I got the back on the speaker box, cables out and into the cabin at least. Probably need to put them into some kind of conduit to keep them safe. This has just been loosely put into position. That has been screwed in top and bottom, and it's going to be my template for getting this side correct. There you go. I've now got this bar in, that bar in, because this top shelf is going to go all the way to the corner. That is going to be like a load through for very long pieces, because the longest piece we have in the kitchen is about 3.6 meters long, and from that top corner of the van to the bottom corner by the doors is just over 3.6 meters. So that's going to be a load through bit to go through there. So I'm going to put a little hoop here and another one down there to kind of hold them steady. But I've just measured the shelves that I'm going to make now, because we've got the bones of the frame in, the minimum I need to start mounting the shelves. And so let's go cut some shelves. First shelf in. So just gonna screw it up into the underside of this. Cut another plate across here and for underneath. I'm just doing this side now, so I've got, so far this is just held in by screws underneath. They are just wedged in because they're a good tight fit. It's good. I've pilot drilled these. I'm just going to put a plate there, and that way there's one in the actual shelf and one in the batten below. The one at the top's really only just to stop things sliding off of it. Shelves and junk. I guess it's time to start putting my stuff away and seeing if it all fits. Oh, and we've actually got to do that bit too. So there we go. Using drain pipes to get the long things that I need to carry organised and tools racked out. So I didn't think I'd film the tidying up aspect of it because it's a bit dull, but there we go. So the next thing for this is to take the van back to home rather than here at the shop and give it a good old service and try and find the leak. There's a little weep on the oil. But I want to run down the diesel in my van that's on lease, because well, they don't normally drop it off with a full tank of diesel, so I'm not going to hand it back with a full tank of diesel. Anyway, love you, bye, like and subscribe and all that shit. Adios.